Bienvenidos. And the time of this video, it's gonna be my final Monday through final Thursday, 4 days, which is day 50 to 53. Yeah, I can count. Okay, so this day, my final Monday, there's no school. That was the greatest part of it all. There's no school on my final Monday. So instead, what we did was, my group of friends, we went to go see the current mayor. I already talked about the last mayor with the stupid fucking raviolis. And so we went to see the current mayor, and he basically gave us a presentation. We went to the town hall, and he basically gave like presentation. It was very weird to say the least. I had some clout because my dad's mayor of Forest Park, and so he's like, "Your dad's mayor of Forest Park, huh?" So he gave me some gift. He gave me a gift for my dad, like his business card. He asked me how long my dad's been mayor for. I was like, a month and a half. And he's like, oh, he's like, well, if you have any questions, just don't hesitate to ask me. And his presentation was really weird. He just talked about like paintings in the town hall and stuff. I honestly don't know what the point of going to see the mayor was. Like, I don't know what there was to gain from it exactly. So we saw that, got gifts, and then he gave each of us gifts, like some things to put on like a dress shirt. So yeah, that happened. So I got the gifts, saw the mayor. That was the only interesting thing I did this day. Next day was even fucking stupider. The last day wasn't stupid at all, but this day was stupid because it was the first day back from school. So that all the teachers actually enforced the cell phone thing, even on me. I feel like it's because they know that I understand Spanish pretty well, so that they're like, you can understand, you can pay attention to my class, but like the shit they're doing is like, note that I'm in like the second grade. I'm going into the fourth grade. This is my senior year of high school. So there's really nothing new for me to learn. So it's like, so instead what I did was I used the power of sleep, because I got like 3 hours of sleep the day before, because I was watching Avatar, The Last Airbender. It's on Netflix now. I've been watching it on, I've been bootlegging it the whole time. And it was on Netflix the whole time. I didn't realize that, and I feel stupid for watching it. All those stupid ads I had to go through for that. Anyway. I used the power of sleep, of REM, to get me through some of the more boring classes that day. Yeah, that whole day was dumb. Just how everyone cared about phones and stuff. And then I was like, okay, so this day was already shit. It can't get any worse. Wrong. Because what happens is Gaspar tells me if I want to go to orchestra. And I'm like, well, I have to go to turn in my instrument, but I don't want to stay in practice. He's like, well, you're part of the orchestra, so you should go. And note, once again, I'm an exchange student, so I'm not part of the orchestra. I've been there a whopping 2 times. And they meet once a week, and they're small and ragtag, so it's not like a giant thing. And once again, I'm here for 2 weeks, or I was there twice, and I didn't want to go, but he basically made me go. I'll get to that because it gets worse. So the thing was, they had a concert 2 days after this day, the Tuesday, and so the practice was way fucking longer. And once again, the teacher kid that was on my phone, I didn't play a single note like the whole time. And the thing was, it wasn't that I didn't play the whole time. It was how long it took her to notice I wasn't playing the whole time. I was literally on my phone the whole time, and she cared a bunch about that. But once again, I'm the exchange student, and my patience was just. It was down. It was on the floor. It was probably in the basement. So I just stopped caring eventually, and she's like, "Are you gonna play?" I'm like, "No." I used the excuse that I had an ear infection and that my ears were hurting. They weren't hurting. I just didn't want to play. So I didn't. Well, it's true because I literally couldn't hear myself playing, like, because the way you hold your trombone, your left ear hears most of it, and that was my obscured ear. So I really couldn't hear myself very well. Meaning I couldn't hear if I was in tune or not very well. As a result, it ain't tuned to A for some reason. I wouldn't have a problem with this, but the brass tunes to A too, and that's such a weird note to tune to, because like on trumpet, for example, I believe it's first valve, isn't it? And because of that, it's like it's not in tune. It's not an open instrument like playing an F would be. So it's like that makes no sense. Oh, it's second valve. I'm the idiot. My point still. Because you have to have an open instrument. That's the point of tuning So you play your tuning note and then you tune from that. But we're playing an A, so and especially in trombone where the whole instrument's a tuning slide. So I'm playing in second position, and like that's not in tune. But I'm always in tune since I almost have perfect pitch. I taught it to myself. Um, so I was fine with that. But that's just so stupid. But I digress. So the whole practice and all lasted almost 3 hours. I was there, not 3 hours. I'd say 2.5. Like 2 hours 40 minutes. Yeah, either way, it was extremely stupid. And once I walked out of that room for the last time, thank God. I was like, why'd you make me do this? This is your fault. He's like, no, this is your fault. You're part of the orchestra. I'm like, I'm the exchange student. It's not my fault. I didn't want to go. I just wanted to turn my instrument and leave. But, I couldn't. And I have an ear infection, so I couldn't even hear myself. So it was already frustrating not to be able to hear myself and play. And then, like, you're making me stay, and then you're trying to say it's not your fault. But it was his fault. So that was a little frustrating. But not the same type of frustrating like I couldn't talk to other people. It was the frustrating like, you're a dumb bitch. C'est la vie. And so, yeah, stupid orchestra adventures. Next day, this was like the version of an IVD that's called Dia Ignaciano, which means Ignatius Day. And so it's basically an IVD, meaning you have to dress up, and yeah, so I had to wear like a tie. And note, it was really hot this day. It was like 70 degrees, which is hot. Not like normally hot, but I'm wearing a shirt and tie, so it's hot, and it's winter in Chile, so it was hotter than normal. So yeah, burned that day. And they have like this tradition where they go to church, but like a high school student finds like a little, like they go to a classroom and pick out like a fifth grader. I honestly don't know how it works. Basically, older kid gets little kid, they go to a mass together. That's basically what it is. Really quickly. So I just found some kid, tried talking to him, but he just didn't want to talk for some reason. He just wanted to mute. I'm the exchange student, and it's my last Wednesday, so you can at least try and make an effort. I said I was the exchange student. I look nothing like a Chilean. I mean, yeah. And then I'm like 10 feet taller than everyone else. But, can't win them all. So after that, go home, and then because it's an IVD, so I get home early, like 12:45, and so I'm supposed to go out, spend time with Gaspar and someone from my group, the person who didn't go to the mall with us that one day. And then Gaspar had work to do, and so, like, because his visa process is being real stupid for some reason, like even dumber than my process was. Mine was pretty dumb. Like, he has to have it like 5 to 10 days, or they said he'll give it to him like 5 to 10 days, but it has to be active for a certain amount of time before he comes to the United States. And so if he gets it late enough, he's gonna have to come later, which is gonna be real awkward if he misses his first day of school. Excuse me. Yeah, so really, I feel stupid about that one. So anyway, the thing is, I'm not sure he had work to do. I'm pretty sure he just wanted me to go alone, I guess. And so what ended up happening was he dropped me off, and it was just me and her for like 2 hours, roughly. So, the thing was, this person, I understood her the least of all the people that I worked with during the retreat, the Seviekis. And so, since I understood her the least, I was like, God, what am I gonna do? And I ended up understanding her, and I was surprised with myself, and I was surprised at her for being understandable. So, good job, Trini, for being understandable. That was great. So we went to ice cream, had a discussion about plastic. She's really avid about plastic and how we can reduce it. And she got on my case for using plastic straws, and I actually read it some ecological, yeah, I think that's what it is, statistic. And literally, plastic straws are literally the equivalent of like saying thoughts and prayers after a mass shooting. Like, the contribution is so low that it's not even like countable. Yeah, and it's like a statistic that you can't even count because it's so low. Like, plastic straws make up about none of the pollution that happens in the ocean. Anyway, I digress. Um, yeah, and then that happened. Went home, ate, bed, and next. This was as bad as because Tuesday was. This day, what happened was I went to school. I only went to like 2 classes instead of the normal 4 that day because I just didn't really feel like being in the class. Because what was happening was I only had like 3 days left, so then it just seemed like I didn't have much left to do. So I already said the goodbyes to the people in my retreat group. So what ended up happening was it just felt like I was counting my hours, my minutes, my seconds down until I was finally gone. So I went to the library, met up with Ben, just talked for a little while. And what happened was I thought he was shaking a bench, but it turns out an earthquake was happening. Um, so yeah, it was like a 6.5, and it was like pretty close to Santiago. Um, that was pretty interesting, and that was pretty cool. And then another earthquake hit right before I went to bed. I noticed because they have like wine glasses hanging up in like the living room, and they were just shaking for no reason. I was like, earthquake, because Chile, and it's on a bunch of fault lines and stuff. I meant to make the distinction that after I went with President from Soviet Keys, that was the end of the day. That was the Wednesday, and the day I just said was Thursday. Um, that's all for this one. Yeah. Goodbye. Love you all.